Okay. First, I want you to introduce you to my father. His name was Arthur Soxy, and his Eskimo name was Agatamin, and he's from King Island. I was born in Unalakleet, Alaska.
Okay. And
my Eskimo name is Chukai or Balkan. This is Jessie Kayoklak. I'm named after her and her son. This is how we carried our babies. The inside of the parka had the fur, so the babies were always kept warm. In the village, when someone passed away and you were born, there was this one woman, her name was Jessie Kayuklak, and her Eskimo name was Balkan. So I was the first one born after she passed away, so they gave me her English and her Inupiaq name. Yeah. And you can have multiple Inupiaq names. And your grandma, Viola, her Eskimo name was Qugia. That means Northern Lights. Yeah.
That's the one
Yeah. So, but that's how we get our native name.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the Inupiaq language. That's mostly from Unalakleet almost up to Barrow. But from Kotzebue to Barrow, their dialect is a little bit different, but we still could understand them. But 15 miles down the other way, where the Yupiks live, we can't understand them. Oh, we did a lot of subsistence. As soon as spring came and school was out, we'd set up camp up the river, and we'd go and we'd do our subsistence. We'd get our food, we'd get the fish and we'd dry it. Also, we'd have a 25-pound barrel, and they'd put wax on the bottom and then rock salt. Then they'd fillet the fish and put the fish on there and continue the rock salt and fish. So by the time winter came and we wanted fried fish, we just soak them overnight and get all the salt out, and the fish would be real fresh. We also dried them to preserve them for our food and for our dogs' food. His father was the chief of King Island, and this is his wife, my mother, Hilma Soxy. She was a Tutpon before she got married. Another time, between Unalakleet and Shaktoolik, there was a little village, Ikavi, and that's where the reindeer herder lived. So a lot of different people from the different villages went to that place, and they'd slaughter 2 reindeers, and then we'd barbecue everything and we'd have a big celebration. Because that's how they weeded out the old reindeers. They castrate them, and that's how they kept the herd healthy. I used to make feathers and beads. I'd make the earrings, and I sold them for $10. But when I worked at the airlines, the native boys, they'd say their mom wants this color and that color, and I'd say, okay, I'll make whatever your mom wants, but I don't want the money. I want you to pay me with native food. So that was very good, because it's very hard to come by in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did you learn how to make it?
I just watched other elders and then copied them. Yeah. And then I'd make kasvaks, but I don't anymore.
Can you explain what a kasvak is?
It's a cloth parka.
Yeah.
Wintertime we have the fur parkas, but summertime we have the cloth parkas. Yeah. Our clothing was made out of either seal skin, moose skin, caribou leggings, rabbit. All the animals we caught, we tanned the skin and made our winter clothing. And summertime, we made our summer clothing. But that was a lot of hard work. We couldn't afford living out of the general store, so we collected a lot of our food. But it always stayed fresh all winter, and then we continued that springtime.
I'm Viola Soxy. My Eskimo name is Qugia, and it's spelled Qugia. I'm from Unalakleet, up near Nome, Alaska. We usually pick names named after somebody who's deceased, but I gave you mine to continue the lineage of my Eskimo name. I got it from a woman who passed on in Unalakleet before I was born.
This is my father, Arthur Soxy, and his oldest daughter, Virginia, and his brother, Harry, and his daughter, Marie, and they're exactly 1 month apart. They have same fathers but different mothers. Their dad was a chief of King Island. And when Christianity came in, they had to choose one of the wives.
I could remember Mom making us parkas, winter boots, and just during the summer they'd put away a lot of different food, berries and fish for winter.
And this is my mother. She was the first woman in Unalakleet to catch a moose. And that day we had to go and distribute the food to all the elders.
I could understand it very well. My dad only spoke Inupiaq to us, but he spoke very broken English. But when I started school, the missionaries said no more speaking our language at home or at school, because we had to learn English, and I find that so many people are bilingual in different languages, and we could have had that too, but they said no more speaking our language, and I'm very sorry for that because I'm not fluent in my language. I know little enough to get by on, but I'm not fluent.
So that was the entire time you were in school, you were not allowed to speak it?
Yeah. But at home, like I said, Pop didn't speak well English, so he spoke to us in our native language so I could understand it well. The missionaries, Christian people, didn't allow a lot of, some jewelry, they'd say it was pagan. So we had to let go a lot of the different stuff that the Christian people didn't believe in. And that affected our culture.